Hey everybody and happy Wednesday. Welcome back to another weekly Wednesday video. Today I have a sketchbook tour for you. I'm super excited for this. I just finished this sketchbook this semester. It was just meant for this semester and I finished it a little bit like a week or so ago from filming this, and this is the first sketchbook that I'm really proud of, and I thought I'd show it off and show you all what my sketchbooks look like. So we're going to start with the cover. This is the cover. It is plants and gemstones and a Paramore quote lyric. I've been really into plants lately. I really wish I could keep them alive better. I have a dead mountain mint plant on my windowsill next to two thriving succulents because those are the only things I can keep alive. So I painted some hanging plants and a couple cactuses, succulents. I think the second one's actually a snake plant. And then I found some crystals online and I drew some crystal structures, and this quote is, "They say that dreaming is free, but I wouldn't care what it cost me." And this is a lyric from the song 26 by Paramore, which is on their new album After Laughter. And that song just really struck me, and I really love all the lyrics in that song, so I thought I would put it on a sketchbook. So we're gonna go ahead and open it now. Alright, so here's the front cover. I did the first page after moving into the living center. All of our floors have themes. At this school, our floor theme is sharks, so I drew some aquatic animals. The octopus is my favorite. The starfish isn't bad either. And then on the front cover is a quote from Albus Dumbledore in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, along with some clouds and some waves, and the same gold paint from the cover. But the first page, I originally just drew it in pencil. Then I decided I wanted to watercolor it, so I got some watercolors and I watercolored them and then outlined them in black micron. And I just think it's really cute. And you might notice that down in the corner I started numbering them by Roman numerals, and that got really tedious, but it happened and I think I did the whole thing. So yeah, next page. So sketchbooks I don't really sketch in much. They're more like journals, or like I take class notes in them, or I put lists. They're kind of like scrapbooks almost. And then on the second page, this quote was originally written straight on the page. However, I didn't like how it looked after I colored on the next page, so I put a post-it note on it. This is our first day of class notes, so you'll see the date. That's when we started class. So there's just a lot of that, like here's another day. This is another class. This is from History of Thought. So like I colored this in and it's with Copics and it bled through, and that's why I covered that up. But like this is our stuff, and this was another class note. I don't know what's... Oh, those are crit notes that I wrote around the edge of the page. That's funny. Okay. But yeah, I was editing a page... No. For this page, I was editing a video that me and my friends made last year, and I just kind of was taking notes on it, and then I made it look pretty. It's not a lot of these pages are fun, but this is like planning for a video, and that's what I do a lot in these sketchbooks. And then here are some Photoshop hotkeys. If you're interested, you can like screenshot this page or something, I don't know. And we got some tips from our History of the Moving Image teacher on how to be healthy while editing, and I wrote them all down. And it says, look at something far away, then close up every 15 minutes. So if you're using the computer a lot, this is really good to do to make sure that your eyes don't get hurt really badly, because working on the computer for a really long time can damage your eyes. And you do neck stretches. She showed us some weird ones that I don't remember. Keep your arms above your wrists, so like you want to do this when you're working on the computer so that you don't get carpal tunnel. That's very important, because if you have carpal tunnel and your hands hurt all the time, then you're not going to be able to work on the computer. Take a break every 2 hours so that you don't hurt your eyes again, and so that you can think of something else. And maybe you've been staring at something for too long and it's just not turning out how you want it, and this will help you take a break. Engage your back muscles with stretches as well. Do some yoga to keep you all limber, and keep the lights on in the room while you're editing in, and keep the brightness on your computer all the way up. so that you can see what it looks like and so that you're not hurting your eyes. And then I've been collecting plants and pressing them in this, so you'll see several pages of this, but I open up this sketchbook and it smells like juniper and it's so beautiful. And I don't think this is actually duckweed, that's just what my friend told me. But we're just gonna skip a few pages. Like there's some Premiere hotkeys, screenshot this if you want that. Crit notes. I was drawing animals on that page. This is for the group I run, kind of. We plan events, so this was our agenda and stuff for our first meeting. I just found this leaf and painted it. Here's a little tea doodle. I was really into the watercolors, so I was testing them out a lot, and I drew some tea. I got a lot of these little not post-it notes, index card paintings in here. More leaves. This was really fun. I went outside and I watercolored some trees, and I think they turned out really well. I've never been too great at doing trees, but this was probably my best. Here's another to-do list. And these are just like little notes to myself. We went to an event called the Hobnobbing Prairie that our school put on, and these were some of the plants that I got there, and these stickers are from that. I taped some glitter because I'm weird and I was doing some weird stuff, but it's cute. This is a rainbow leaf. I was gonna draw more cats on this page, but that didn't happen. But I'm not gonna go back and fix it. So here's some more outdoor drawings of trees, and they have these yellow tour buses that go around Kansas City, and sometimes they come by campus, and I'm like, why do we need that in Kansas City? Because it's so easy to drive around, unlike New York. So I drew one. And this quote is from My Neighbor Totoro. The trees and people used to be good friends. I'm pretty sure their dad says it. Here is a drawing of Vanderslice, the lights in our classroom. This is a frame from an animation I did. I'll put a link in the iCard up in the corner. Some notes to myself. This is for planning an assignment for this, I think. This frame wasn't used, by the way. This is where I was like cleaning off my watercolor brush because I didn't have any, I usually didn't have like paper towels with me, so I just brushed on here. I use one of these guys, and I just got to dip it in there, and then, this is out of water, I just dip it in the watercolor and then brush it, and then I didn't have paper towels, so I just wiped it off on that. That's what scabs are made from, if you were wondering. This is a quote from Karl Marx. This is another unused frame from Nurture. Here's some notes from History of the Moving Image. That's the juniper. Ooh. Research topic ideas. This is when I was presenting. Some notes on rotoscoping and notes on avant-garde cinema. Movies that I wanted to watch that I was prioritizing. I watched Little Miss Sunshine, I watched 2001: Space Odyssey, but I haven't watched the other three yet. This was me doing research for my research project. I did it on flowers in art, and an artist named Azuma Makoto who does art with flowers and makes some videos. I'll put a link to his channel down in the description if you're interested. He's really cool. So I did a bunch of Googling just as like a social experiment to see what I could find. And this is what I came up with, and I wanted to color code it, so it's a little obnoxious, but you know. I did a search for flower on Urban Dictionary and found some really weird things. I painted some flowers in watercolor. Here's some test pages and a flower quote because I was really into flowers earlier this semester. Some more pressed flowers over here. There's some more flower quotes. This was just a fun little exercise to wash off my brushes, and I thought looked really cool, so I did it on the whole page. List of edible flowers, list of songs about flowers or named flowers. To-do list. Look, I got everything done except buy tissues. I mean, I did buy tissues, I just didn't check it off. Oops. Note to self. We were watching Hercules, and I did a really bad drawing of Hercules. Ignore that. Here's more committee notes. Got some event ideas down there. It's a fun time. More pressed flowers and cicada wings. Cicada wings. Some sound notes. We did some automatic writing, books for my research assignment, and here's some crit notes. This was my favorite page of crit notes. I posted it on my Instagram. I'll put the link down in the description as always. This was for our take a hike video, which I will put in the iCard for the corner right about now. This was our 4th assignment, and I went on a hike, and it was fun. Here's some more notes for that. Oh, this is for our next one, and we had to do interviews for someone, so I had my interview questions, and these were my ideas for who I wanted to interview. What's next? We read Nietzsche, and these were my favorite quotes from Nietzsche. I didn't like the reading, but I thought he was really quotable, and I'll probably use these at some point in my life. So I wanted to have them all written down, and they look all pretty. This is a drawing I never finished, but it's fine. They have these things at our school called Current Perspectives lectures, where you get to see what artists are doing in their current practice, and this particular one was from Michael Kruger, and I took notes on that, so there's a couple pages of this in here. And then we did some stuff, did more research presentations, and then I did this really cool painting of just a bunch of like geometric shapes outlined in black. Here's some lighting notes. This is a note to myself about what I needed for that assignment. I was looking at internships I could possibly do over the summer, but I'll probably do something in Des Moines that's not in California. Here's some more for that interview stuff. So I did one for Sovereign. This one should be up soon. Here is stuff from that as well. More pressed flowers and a flower quote. These ones are all purple. So I have more notes to myself, and then I did Inktober for the first time, and I gave up. But here is the prompt list from the main guy who made it. I think I got through Screech, maybe, when I stopped, so we're gonna look at those now. So first, day 1 was Swift. So I drew a Apom using Swift, but I made him look evil because October. I don't know. Here is day 2, which was Divided. And I did that quote and some blocks. I don't know what I just had to come up with something because I couldn't think of anything. For day 3, we did Poison, so I drew a poison bottle, and I really like this how this drawing turned out. I believe these are all on my Instagram. Link below again. More crit notes! Woo woo! This is day 4, which was Underwater, so I drew a little chest and a little skull, and I really like how this one turned out as well. I like how the sand color looks, and I like how the chest looks, leaving those spaces in between the lines. This is not the best skull I've ever drawn though, so Then we had another assignment that I took some notes on, and this was just a random drawing that I did of the moon. It was a quote that maybe I said, I don't know. Day 5 was long, so I drew a giraffe with a really small body and a really long neck. Then more pressed flowers, and I made a bat stamp that I never used because I didn't have anything to stamp it on, but it is with my new gold screen printing ink, so I had to test it and make sure that it had the right shape I wanted, and then afterwards I just wanted to make it look better, so I went in with a paintbrush and touched it up. Day 6 was Sword, so I drew a magical floating sword over some rocks. Day 7 was Shy, so I drew a shy guy in a less Mario looking way. Day number 8 was Crooked, so I drew a cat with some crooked whiskers, and I think he's really cute. And then day 9 was Screech, and I made a Screech owl. It's a really bad drawing of an owl, but I'm okay with it. I think that's all I did. Oh no, I did Gigantic too. I did, day 10 was Gigantic, and I drew Jupiter because he is a gas giant. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I went further than I thought I did. I did day 11 too, which was Run. And if you've ever seen that Vine where it's like that song where it goes, run, and it's just umbrellas like attacking people on the beach. That's the only thing I could think of when I thought of the word run, so that's what I drew. So here is a shot list for my beauty assignment, which will be up either in December, probably in December or January. And the ones that are highlighted are the ones I finished. This one I didn't do, that one I didn't do, and then I did do the sound later. I just didn't mark them off. So sometimes you just make a list of shots that you want to see if you don't necessarily have a way to storyboard it because you don't know what order they're going to go in yet. But these are just the ones I wanted to do, and I got them done. Woo! And then my birthday happened, and I got my record player. So I made a list of artists that I would like to have records of at some point in my life. And I picked Bon Jovi, Starship, Rick Springfield, Queen, Styx, Elton John, Firehouse, The Cranberries, Journey, ABBA, and The Beatles. And those are all artists that I have on a playlist on Spotify called Hair Bands and Hippies. And they're all songs from the 60s to the 80s. They're not all necessarily hair bands and hippies, but my mom helped me pick out songs for that she thought I might like. So these are the ones that I really resonated with, and I saved most of them. On this page, I was dancing around the dorm room listening to my records with just socks and a sweater on, so I made that little quote and I drew the little socks and I just thought it was cute, and this actually made it into my new sketchbook on the inside cover, which I showed in my last studio vlog, and I'll put that up in the iCard next time. Here's some notes on color correction, sound, and editing in Premiere. I drew a bunch of spirals, which is a really good way to pass the time if you're just sitting in class and you don't know what to draw. You can just draw a bunch of spirals. Here's some more crit notes. Here's some more committee notes. Here's some stuff for installation. I'm in a class called American Films of the 1970s, and there are several movies that define this era, and these are some of the directors that he mentioned in the class description that we could have been watching. Of all of these movies, we watched one, and that was Raging Bull. And in a couple pages we'll get back to this, but here we had a movie night and I just wanted to draw something to fill that page because I was so close to being done with the sketchbook and I just wanted to get there. So we watched Monster House, we had pizza, I think that was apple cider, and I drew Remy and the moon, and then a couple days later I think I drew Mjolnir and that hand. So here we are back to American Films in the 1970s. These are all the movies that we did watch minus Raging Bull. We watched Annie Hall, Manhattan, Stardust Memories, Harold and Maude, The Last Detail, Chinatown, and Rocky. And of those, we probably only need to watch 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we would have been able to fit in several of these. But no, I don't know why he didn't show us that. So these are notes from that class. And then this is a storyboard for movie night, which I believe is in a couple weeks from when I'm recording this video. And then I decided to draw movie posters from memory, and these were all ones that I could just vaguely remember that I wanted to draw, so some of them I didn't get to right, like Say Anything is way different, like he's like shrunk down and there's like a bunch of stuff up at the top. I didn't look up Annie Hall to check if that was right, but I don't think that's right. Stand By Me is definitely not right. Sword in the Stone, definitely not right. But the rest of them were pretty spot on. But that was a really fun exercise to do, so I highly recommend that, and I also highly recommend most of these movies, except maybe Annie Hall. That wasn't my favorite movie, but I do like all the other ones. Okay, Jaws made me angry, but we don't have to talk about that right now. We'll save that for a later movie Monday. And then the last page is just some life sketches, and right here is the chart that lists all the Roman numerals and what they represent numerically, and I did get to the end of the book numbering it, so yay me. But that is my entire sketchbook from the beginning of first semester of sophomore year. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up to let me know that I'm doing a good job. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, as well as other videos I upload, please subscribe by hitting the subscribe button down below, and if you hit the little bell button, you'll also get notified whenever I upload. But for now, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and rest of your year, and I will see you on Friday. Bye!
When are we gonna understand that we are put on earth to love?